What's up, y'all? It's your boy, God's Child here again. And like I told you guys, I love sports. I love the NBA, and I recently just seen ESPN come out with their ESPN all-time greatest list, and the list was kind of laughable to me, but I wasn't surprised. I understood why they did certain things. I like the fact that from one to five, it was Michael. I don't like that LeBron was two, but they had Kareem at three, Bill Russell at four, and Magic at five. Just to remind you guys, if you don't remember what my top 11 is, I like to do a top 11 because I believe that's how great all 11 of these players are, and it's debatable, each person in front of the other. But my top 11 is Michael Jordan, number one, Bill Russell, number two, Kareem Abdul Jabbar, number three, Magic Johnson, number four. Number five, I have the great Tim Duncan. Number six, I have the great Larry Bird. Seven, the great LeBron James. Eight, the great Shaquille O'Neal. Nine, the great Will Chamberlain. And 10, the great Hakeem Olajuwon. And 11, I have the great Kobe Bean Bryant. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through all my top 11's careers. I have that. I don't have, I'm low budget right now, so excuse me and excuse my handwriting, but I've written all their career achievements and accolades, and I can put into context their whole career for you. And by my reasoning, I'm going to tell you why I have these players slotted where I have them. And you guys tell me if you agree or not. And if you disagree, hey, we can debate it. It's all a debate. That's why I love this stuff. But first, I have Michael Jordan. I don't think we have to really go through Michael Jordan. Everybody knows he's number one. We can come back to him and compare him later if possible. But again, I have number two, Bill Russell, the great Bill Russell. Now, excuse my handwriting, brothers, but Bill Russell is an 11-time NBA Finals champion, 5-time regular season MVP. They say God's child, why he don't got no Finals MVPs? Well, Bill Russell played in the late 50s and the whole 60s. Like, Bill Russell came in the league in the 56-57 year, in the 56-57 season, and he had just won the NCAA title back-to-back at University of San Francisco, and he had already committed to playing in the Olympics for the USA team. So he wins the title back-to-back in college at the University of San Francisco. Then he has to go and play in the Olympics, wins the gold medal. He wins the gold medal, and then he comes back as a rookie in his rookie year with the Boston Celtics, and he wins a championship. So he won an NCAA title, a gold medal, and a finals championship, NBA championship, all in the same year. NCAA championship back to back. So he won the championship, gets the gold medal, goes and is the captain of the gold medal team, and then takes the Celtics to their first championship as a rookie. All in the same year. People like to say Magic Johnson won in high school, then he won in high school, then he won in college, and then won all like back to back because he won as a junior in high school, he won as a senior in high school, a freshman in college, and a rookie as a professional. Well, Bill Russell basically did the same thing because even in high school, but Bill Russell stayed in college 4 years. All 4 years, Bill Russell stayed in college. So, but Bill Russell won back-to-back state championships in high school. Then he goes to San Francisco, stays there all 4 years, and hones his craft. Then by the time he's a junior and he's the best player in college, the best player in the world. So that's why he gets drafted by Red Auerbach, and he's the captain of the gold medal team and the captain of the Celtics. But then so that's why you see he has no Finals MVPs, because at that time he didn't have in the first year that they came out with the NBA Finals MVP was the year that the Boston Celtics played the Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor Lakers, and they were favored to win. The Lakers were supposed the Lakers were supposed to win because they got Will Chamberlain, and that was supposed to put them over the top. Because every year it would be the Lakers, it would be Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, Elgin Baylor, or just Jerry West and Elgin Baylor in the finals going against the Celtics or Will. So it's like that. It's out of these three people, basically, out of Wilt and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. So if they come together, why can't we beat them if we all come together? And in '69, that was Bill Russell's last year. Bill Russell retired the year after they won the championship in Game 7. But they gave that first year they gave the award, they gave it to Jerry West, who I think averaged like a triple double. I think he averaged like 30, like almost 30 points, 10 rebounds, almost 10 rebounds and like 11 assists or something. He had a great series. He had a great finals, but Bill Russell was amazing in that Game 7. Look up Bill Russell's stats in the Game 7. And then the other argument, people like to say, well, Bill Russell played with like 7, 8 Hall of Famers, 6 or 7 Hall of Famers. Well, if he played with 6 or 7 Hall of Famers, and again, I always say, I got all these stats off Wikipedia and off ESPN.com. If anything I present or say is wrong, please correct me. I love to be corrected with knowledge, and I'll come on here and apologize and fix the statement, and we could debate about whatever. But like I said, if he played with 6 or 7 Hall of Famers, why does he have 5 regular season MVPs? Then they'll say, well, Bill Russell only averaged 15 points per game and 22 rebounds and all that type of stuff. How could you say he's better? How could he be 2 if he only averaged 15? Okay. Will Chamberlain played in the league with, we're not even going to talk, people don't even know about Bob Pettit. Bill Russell said Bob Pettit was the best down low player that he played against. Better than Will Chamberlain. But he played in the league with Oscar Robertson, Will Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. Those are just the names I can think of off the top of my head. That the whole time that Bill Russell was in the league, they were in the league. And they were younger. More than likely they were younger. Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West. Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. Those were probably the 4 best people that Bill Russell had to play against. And you know they were younger because Bill Russell came in the 56, 57 year because they kept playing once he retired in 69. They still played into the 70s. But anyway, I digress. Well, my point in bringing that up is, if Bill Russell played with all those Hall of Famers and he only averaged 15 points and all that, why did he win 5 regular season MVPs in a league with Will Chamberlain, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson? You know what I'm saying? That's my point. And if Bob Cousy and John Havlicek and Casey Jones and Sam Jones and Satch Sanders and Tom Henson and all those people, if they were all so great and he had all these Hall of Famers, why did he win all the MVPs? That's 5 regular season MVPs. In a league with Will Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor. With many other people. Jerry Lucas. With other people. Why did he win 5 of them? You know Bill Russell won 5 MVPs and Wilt Chamberlain only won 4? Do you know who are the only 3 people to win 5 or more MVPs, regular season MVPs in the league? Oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and Bill Russell. Those are the only 3 people in history to have 5 or more regular season MVPs. Okay. 12-time All-Star, NBA All-Star Game MVP, 3-time All-NBA First Team. Well, they say, God's child, how could you say it? But he only has 3 first teams. Yeah, because he has to go against Wilt Chamberlain. He's only a 3-time All-NBA First Team member because Wilt Chamberlain is in the league. And he still was able to win 3 times. one time Wilt might not have been in the league, but the two of the times I know for sure Wilt was in the league and they was in the prime. And also, Bill Russell was able to win 3 straight regular season MVPs with Oscar Robertson, with Wilt Chamberlain, with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, Jerry Lucas, whoever you want to say that played in the '60s and was a great player. Bill Russell won 3 straight. Out of his 5, he won 3 straight MVPs. Out of his 5, he won 3 straight. That's how great Bill Russell was. All NBA second team 8 times because again, it's hard. It's hard out here for a pimp when you gotta go against Wilt Chamberlain. That's like saying. That's like saying. I'm gonna give you an example. That's like saying, well, even though Tim Duncan, let's say Tim Duncan was a center instead of a power forward. This is just an example, and Tim Duncan only could make the first team on his career 7 times, and then the other 8 times he was second team. Well, he didn't. He wasn't a first team member, or he had to go against Shaq. But Tim Duncan, now, this is just an example. This is because Tim Duncan's a power forward, and we'll get to him in a second. But as an example, he has to go against Shaq. Wilt Chamberlain was dominant. He scored 100 points in a game. He averaged 50 points and 30 rebounds for a season. Like, now you see, but do you see why he? That's why Bill Russell only was a first team member 3 times. He had to go against Wilt Chamberlain. All NBA first team 1 time, and the 1 time that he was the first year that they had the All NBA defensive first team in '69. Bill Russell's last year. So just imagine all the first team defenses he would have had. He probably would have made it his whole career. 4-time rebounding champion in a league with Wilt Chamberlain, and Wilt Chamberlain was 7'1" with a 40-something inch vertical. Wilt Chamberlain, who averages the most rebounds in the league, like 22 rebounds a game. He was 7'1". Bill Russell 6'9". Now what Bill Russell could do is he had huge hands, and I believe he had like a 48-inch vertical. So he was, you know what I'm saying, his hands were so huge, his arms were long, he could jump so high that he could, and he was so strong and fundamentally sound, he could almost negate, even though, any great player is going to get their numbers. You're not going to be able to stop him, but he could contain them in a way that no one else could. And that's not me saying that. Wilt Chamberlain said that himself. That the best defender that could contain him the most was Bill Russell. The best defender he ever went up against was Bill Russell. And they were best friends. But yeah, Bill Russell made the 50th, 35th, and 25th anniversary team. He averages 15 points per game, 22.5 rebounds per game, with 4 assists a game. 4 assists a game as a center. He's number 1 in defensive win shares, so that means, like, his impact on the game defensively is number 1. Like, he has, and it's not even close. If you go look at the numbers, it's not even close. And the next person closest to him is Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is number 2 in defensive win shares all time. Tim Duncan. But that means their impact on defense, on the game, that's how impactful they were defensively on the game. That's how much effect they could have on the game, defensive wise. 10-0 in Game 7s, 11-1 in NBA Finals. And the one time he lost was because he hurt his ankle again. And I'm not trying to talk, because I think those Hawks teams, those all-white teams, those were pretty good teams. Those were legendary teams. They took them to 7. When the Celtics won in '57, that went to Game 7. In '58, they won in 6, but Bill Russell twisted his ankle, so it was over. But then the next year, I think they went to 5 or 6 games. Might have went to 7 again, but that was in '58 was the last time that they. Then in '67 they lost to that legendary Wilt Chamberlain, Chet Walker, all those people. Will had a loaded team in Philadelphia, and they broke the record for the most wins that year until Wilt's other team, the 72 Lakers broke that record. But yeah. That's why I have Bill Russell number 2. And that's a little context. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 6 championships, 2 finals MVPs, 19-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. I really don't think we have to talk about Kareem because Kareem, he was 3 on the list. So they agreed with that one. Then I have Magic number 4. Magic Johnson. People like to say, I heard Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman and all these people say LeBron's better than Magic. In what way? In what way is LeBron better than Magic Johnson? Who got more championships? Magic Johnson. Who got more finals MVPs? They got the same. Who got more regular season MVPs? They got the same. Magic has 12. He's a 12-time NBA All-Star. Of course, LeBron's been to the NBA All-Star game more because he's played longer. 2-time All-Star game MVP. That, like, the All-Star game MVP, that really doesn't matter to me. That's just like ice cream on top of the meat and potatoes. Now we get 9-time All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team. So he 10 times made the All-NBA team. All-NBA rookie team. Mind you, him and Larry Bird came out the same year in '79. 4-time NBA assist leader, 2-time NBA steals leader. So the people that try to say Magic Johnson was not a great defender, well, he's a 2-time NBA steals leader. I don't think LeBron ever led the league in steals. If I'm wrong, brothers, please correct me, but I don't believe LeBron has ever led the NBA in steals, not once. Not once in his career. Like, when you think of LeBron playing defense, you don't think of him getting steals. You think of LeBron getting blocks. And I don't even think he's averaged 100 blocks in a season. There was that year in 2013 where he came second to Mark Gasol, winning Defensive Player of the Year, but I still don't think he had that many blocks. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Magic made the 50th anniversary team. Magic Johnson averaged 19.5 points, 7 rebounds a game. So Magic Johnson is just as good as rebounder. Magic Johnson is, mind you, LeBron James averages for his career 27, 7, and 7. 27 rebounds, 27 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. That's LeBron's stats. Magic Johnson's stats are 19.5 points per game, 7 rebounds a game. So him and LeBron average the same amount of rebounds a game, 11.2 assists a game. So they try to say LeBron James is a pass-first player, but he only averages 7 assists. Magic Johnson averages 11 assists a game with 2 steals a game, 1.9 steals a game. So anybody that says Magic's not a good defender, well, he averages almost 2 steals a game. 2. With 19.5 points. So he's giving you damn near 20. He's giving you anywhere from 19 to 25 points a night. You could damn near pencil Magic in for 19 to 25 points. Anywhere from 19 to 25 points a night. With 7 rebounds, 11 assists, and 2 steals a game. Magic Johnson he came onto the Los Angeles Lakers as a rookie with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there as the best player. They get to the finals. Kareem gets hurt, and I think game 5 or 6, and Magic Johnson comes in and starts at center and has one of the greatest games in the finals ever. And they're able to overcome Dr. J and the 76ers with no James Worthy. The Lakers had no James Worthy, no Kareem. I want to say it was just, I don't know if it was Byron Scott, but it was somebody else who Magic said without, like it was Magic and and like one of the other role players. I can't think of his name. One of you guys can correct me on who it was. It might have been Byron Scott, but I don't think it was Byron Scott. But it was Magic and the other person, and Magic had like 42. And the other dude had like dropped 37, so they just went crazy. They dropped like 80 points, just them two. And they had to do it to overcome Maurice Cheeks, Dr. J, and Bobby Jones. So they had to do that. But Magic, that's just imagine if LeBron had came into the league as a rookie, and but then you would say, but LeBron didn't have Kareem. Okay. But then I would say, Larry Bird in his second year, or Larry Bird in his first year. Larry Bird in his first year wins Rookie of the Year and takes a 29 win, 20 something win team and turns them into a 60 win team. Then in 1981 they win the championship in his second year with with John Havlicek coming off the bench and no Dennis Johnson. I don't believe Dennis Johnson was on the 81 team. I think it was Nate Tiny Archibald. I think it was Nate Tiny Archibald, and then Dennis Johnson came later. But that's what I'm saying. The first, where Bird didn't win the Finals MVP, his first championship, he was still the leader of that team. He got them there. So, but anyway, I digress. We're talking about Magic Johnson. I digress. But Magic was able to come in his rookie year with no James Worthy. So it's basically just him and Kareem. It's him and Kareem with a whole bunch of role players. So, think about that. So Kareem gets hurt. Kareem's the captain. Kareem's the start. Kareem is the lead dude. He goes out. It's just Magic and then whoever else he had that dropped 37. Can't think of his name. So it's just so just think how great Magic is. The next year they don't. The next year they don't. They don't win. They lose to the Rockets. Moses Malone and the Rockets, and that's who Larry Bird beats in the finals. But it's just like when you say that LeBron James is better than Magic Johnson, I'm just like, in what way? Well, he's made more All NBA teams, first teams. He played longer. Magic only played 12 years. Magic Johnson did all of this in 12 years. 12 years. Michael Jordan only played like 13 years with the Chicago, 15 altogether, but he only played 13 years with the Chicago Bulls. Bron been in the league 17 years. 17 years. That's why I got him number 4. Tim Duncan. Now this is where the controversy, this is probably where I'm going to get a lot of people mad, but I don't give a fuck. Tim Duncan is a 5-time NBA Finals champ. So look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it just like this. I'm going to lay these ones out. And you tell me, we're not even going to worry about these other ones right now. We're going to get back to them in a second. I'm going to lay these ones out, and you tell me, this is their career. This is their accolades and achievements. Now you tell me. I'm going to just move Larry right now. I'm going to put LeBron and Tim Duncan head to head. I'm going to put LeBron and Tim Duncan head to head. Excuse me. We got LeBron James and Tim Duncan. And excuse my handwriting, because I wrote these by hand, because it's low budget right now. But I just feel like I need to come and bring some actual context, because these pundits on ESPN, they don't do no justice. They don't talk real. They're fans. They're fans of LeBron. They're not true NBA aficionados. They're not true NBA historians. So you have to have someone like me come. That's why I'm here. But anyway, I digress. LeBron James. Okay, who has more championships, Tim Duncan or LeBron? Tim Duncan 5, LeBron 3. Okay, boom. 1 Tim Duncan. 1 for Tim, 0 for LeBron. Who has more finals MVPs? Oh, they're the same. Okay, still 1 for Tim, 0 for LeBron. Who has more regular season MVPs? LeBron has 4. Tim has 2. Okay. 1 for LeBron, 1 for Tim. I don't care about All-Star MVPs. They both have 1. LeBron has 3. Tim has 1. 16-time All-Star, 15-time All-Star. 2 for LeBron. First team. I'll give that to LeBron over Tim Duncan because he made 12 NBA first teams. But what I will say is LeBron hasn't had the competition that Tim Duncan had to face. Tim Duncan had to go against Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Webber, Pau Gasol. Even though people might say Pau Gasol's not a power. At the time when Pau Gasol was winning championships with the Lakers, he was the power forward on the team, and Andrew Bynum was the center. So yes, Pau Gasol was a power forward. So he had to go through Pau Gasol, Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Dirk Nowitzki. These are all Hall of Fame power forwards that Tim Duncan had to face. In LeBron's early career, he had to go against Paul Pierce and young Kevin Durant. Now Kawhi. But when LeBron was first coming up, there wasn't no super small forwards that was challenging LeBron. There ain't no... Tell me the Hall of Fame small forwards that LeBron had to go against in his early career. You could maybe say Paul Pierce. You could say Paul Pierce. I can't really think of no super great small forwards that was in the league besides Paul Pierce. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not thinking of them. But I could think of Paul as small forward. At that time, Tracy McGrady was on his way out. Tracy McGrady was on his way out. He was still good, but he was on his way out from the Rockets. Paul Pierce, then Kevin Durant, but then, LeBron was better than him, and he was young. So, yeah, that's the difference. When you say first teams, they both been there 15 times. Tim Duncan had a 19-year career, so LeBron's had a 17-year career. So they were both, I want to say he had a 19, 20-year career. So that's the difference between Tim Duncan's first teams and LeBron's first team. Tim Duncan had to go against Hall of Fame people at his position, to whereas LeBron didn't really have to face Hall of Fame people at his position until later in his career. But they both been there 15 times, 12-time first team, 2-time second team, third team, 10-time first team, 3-time second team, 2-time third team, 5-time all-defensive first team, 8-time all-defensive first team, 7-time defensive second team, 1-time defensive. So 6 times to 15 times. It's not even close. Rookie of the year. Hey, Rookie of the year. Rookie first team. I'm sure LeBron made the first team. He was a 3 times athlete of the year. Sportsman of the year. Teammate of the year. LeBron will never win that. LeBron, 27 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal and a half per game. Tim Duncan, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists as a power forward. A 69% free throw shooter. I put that on there because they try to say Tim Duncan was a liability in the clutch. LeBron James is only a 70% free throw shooter, 70, 71. But that's why I put that on there, to show that if Tim Duncan's a liability, how's LeBron? They're both liabilities at the free throw line. They both only shoot 70%. At least with Tim, you getting 2.2 blocks a game and 3 assists as a power forward with 11 rebounds. LeBron didn't win the NBA scoring championship. He was the NBA scoring champion. But when you put them head to head, it's close. It's really close. It's not just, But I'm just saying, personally, I feel like when you splitting hairs like this, you got to go with the person who got more championships.